When it comes to the typing of Pokemon, water easily has to be my favorite typing of them all. Now I did want to say this for last, but I decided, right after fire types, I might as well just go along to water types. Now this is the top most deadly water type Pokemon that exist in the Pokemon world. Now one big reason why I want to emphasize just how dangerous water type Pokemon are is the fact that they're able to survive and thrive both in water and on land. Well, most of them anyway, making there no possible escape for you on any level where they wouldn't be able to outbest you. And I'm not talking about being able to swim, being able to be in water for a while, but full on go into the depths of the ocean and survive there, breathe that ocean, as well as being able to thrive on land as well. Also, because they have this advantage, and with humans not being able to survive in the massive waves of water, just makes them even more to be feared. That is why drowning is one of humans' most popular fears. Now I do want to make this abundantly clear, like I did with every other video in this series. This series will not be including legendary Pokemon and Mega Pokemon because they clearly have an advantage in terms of strength, physical prowess, destructive power, and everything else in that right. So we get to dive into a little bit more of Pokemon lore, Pokemon descriptions, just to find out who truly is the top of the non-legendary Pokemon and Mega Pokemon. Now in the number 3 spot we have Kingdra, the dragon Pokemon that is also a seahorse. Now this Pokemon is covered in super hard scales that allow it to survive the immense pressure from living at the bottom of the ocean. And there are two huge reasons why I picked this Pokemon in particular. One of them is its habitat being living at the bottom of the ocean. Now let me break this down for you, just how crazy this is. Because it lives at the bottom of the ocean, it's used to maneuvering and swimming around down there. But when it reaches the surface, this Pokemon's strength and speed will get a drastic increase because of the relief of pressure that's on its body. Similar to how they did their gravity training in Dragon Ball Z, they got much stronger after that gravity was removed when they got to the natural gravity once again. Now the pressure at the lowest known point of the ocean at the bottom of the Mariana Trench is a staggering 15,750 psi, which is 1,000 times greater than sea and ground level, making this Pokemon 1,000 times faster, stronger, more defensive, and more capable on the surface when it's facing its opponents. Attack speed, maneuverability, reaction speed, everything just staggeringly increases. But of course, there is a chance that it still will be slower than its opponent. At that point, it'd just be a high-speed duel, which would be clean to watch. It'll be super clean to watch. Now, the second reason is the long sniper-like snout that Kingdra has as a mouth. This is his main force of attack power. Although the blast radius is small, the damage it deals because of that and the range of the attack is more than enough to compensate for the lack of blast radius. Because this is its mouth, it is said that the yawn of a Kingdra is enough to create strong enough underwater currents to destroy nearby ships on the sea. And when it's on the surface, it can create whirlpools and tornadoes just by yawning. The overall pure destructive power of this Pokemon has the potential to be far greater than most non-legendary Pokemon. Now these blasts come from the bottom of the ocean, where it yawns to reach from the bottom of the ocean to the top. That should give you an idea of just how strong and how potent each blast from a Kingdra is. But even so, this Pokemon is only in the 3rd spot for a reason. Kingdra may be a tough opponent, but it lacks harder utilities, special defenses, and health, making it twice as easy of a foe to fell when its praise hits do connect. A human stands no chance against the speed and barrage by this Pokemon, so if it were to hunt people for food or support, it would have no difficulty. But against a wild Pokemon, or if that person were to be a Pokemon trainer, they would stand much greater chance of survival. Now, while impressive, let's move on to the next Pokemon in the list. Now, in the next spot, we have one of my favorite water type Pokemon is the legend Blastoise himself. He is a high-speed turtle that has 3 claws set on each hand and 4 claws on each foot, as well as 1 powerful jaw. Claws are usually attributed to the animals keeping their prey in their grip for as long as they possibly can when clenching them, dealing long-term damage to the enemy. And a Pokemon like Blastoise, who has much stronger physical strength than a lot of water type Pokemon, it is not letting go unless you find some trick to its power. But that won't stop this Pokemon just there. Blastoise excels in both physical, special, attacking, and mobility, and various forms of utility as far as his moveset goes. Now let's start with the obvious, the powerful water cannons on each of Blastoise's shoulders. Standard blasts are powerful enough to pierce steel and concrete many times thick, but a special move, Hydro Cannon, just makes his blasting strength even more powerful. Both cannons can shoot a whopping 160 feet far with precise enough accuracy to strike small objects on the dot. But on top of that, let's add some perspective to Blastoise's actual cannon strength. To clearly punch holes through steel, you need tons and tons of force, like a lot. To punch a hole 1 inch in diameter in steel that is 1 inch thick, you need about, I'd say around 80 tons of force, or about 160,000 psi. And since Blastoise's cannons are larger than 1 inch in diameter, and the material could be more than 1 inch thick, this means that Blastoise's water jets have a force of around greater than 160,000 psi, meaning his cannons have a whopping 105 times more than enough strength to completely shatter and decimate the toughest of natural minerals, tungsten, diamond, and even artificial materials like quartzite boron nitride and tungsten carbide. So basically, case in point, any blast from this Pokemon's water cannon is strong enough to literally rip you to shreds, blow you to pieces, explode you, whatever term you want. Regardless, it gonna be nasty. Regardless, it gonna be nasty. But this Pokemon's physical bulk from its weight and ability as a turtle allow it to deal out massive physical damage, like him using his water cannon to allow high-speed travel and maneuverability, making him be able to go toe-to-toe with even naturally fast Pokemon, meaning it is no stranger to go to old-fashioned hunt or chase down or high-speed duel like a Kingdra. All of this while keeping its tremendous physical defense, giving constant protection by hiding in its shell, which will help it to outlast even the fiercest of onslaughts and attacking. Not only is its defenses succeeded by its move pool containing many moves like Withdraw and Iron Defense to boost it, but being a Pokemon that learns Rapid Spin shows its ability to counter or dissipate attacks in his shell form. And to give an idea of how good his defenses are, let's compare him to the water-type Pokemon Cloyster. Now, Cloyster's physical defenses are so strong that even something as strong as a Missile Strike can't even open up his shell. While not as strong as defense as Cloyster, this means Blastoise's shell is still capable of fending off against numerous high-powered but smaller scale bomb barrages, which is still amazing in its own right. But he is not the strongest Pokemon of water type Pokemon, and this isn't a strongest Pokemon of each type series. It's about deadliness, it's about danger. That's what it's truly about, meaning they could be as cheap or as uncombat oriented or as skilled or as little skilled or as small or as big as they possibly can be. And some of you guys may have already guessed this. I didn't even know myself until I changed it last minute and just went into more depth in the research that this Pokemon would be on the list. But as some of you may have expected, as some of you probably did not expect, it is the big boy himself, Gyarados, one of the most popular water type Pokemon to ever be created, and 3 times more deadly than it is loved by people. This Chinese dragon-like serpent holds enormous power, access to an extremely dynamic moveset, sound-breaking speed, and an unruly temper that is just feared by, egging on its destructive tendencies. This Pokemon has the power to back up its wild ferocity. It definitely has the power to back it up. Do not get me wrong. It is respected and or feared by all Pokemon. Even the legendary Red Gyarados took Rayquaza's place one time to stop the feuding between Groudon and Kyogre. 2 legendary Pokemon. If those 2 respect the power of a Gyarados and the authority of a Red Gyarados, they respect him, then they know to back off. That says a lot about Gyarados. Now, this Pokemon has 4 canine-like fangs in its mouth that can tear up the prey that it catches when hunting, or it can just completely crush you by just using its sky-high jaw strength, making the deadly capabilities of this Pokemon just even more so potent. It has scales along its back that are even harder than steel, making its defense quite difficult to overcome if you do manage to get a hit on it from its fierce attacking tendency. Gyarados has numerous fins on its face and tail to aid in swimming both in fresh and salty water, while also being able to breathe oxygen and survive on land by floating or just resting on his tail. Now, Gyarados has an extremely diverse moveset, one of the most diverse I've ever seen personally, making it no easy foe to fight even if you have a type advantage when trying to use your own Pokemon to protect yourself from being attacked. Learning moves like Dragon Dance, Dragon Pulse, Dragon Rage, Ice Fang, Crunch, Aqua Tail, Hyper Beam, Surf, Ice Beam, to moves as far from its typing like Stone Edge, Earthquake, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Thunder, Dark Pulse, Iron Head, you name it. This Pokemon's moveset is absolutely crazy, all the way to set up moves like Protect, Substitute, Thunder Wave, Swagger, Toxic, Rain Dance, Sandstorm, and so much more. These are just the ones I picked out to list off to you guys. There's just so much more of its moveset, whether it's by Move Tutor, Egg moves, natural level up, anything like that. It can combat any Pokemon of any type and any man that gets in its way and hunt people as prey in any possible fashion, secrecy or lurking with its setups, or full-on onslaught with its destructive move. Now, Gyarados' rage is really what makes this Pokemon so special and so dangerous. He's basically like the Hulk, almost rage incarnate. And whenever opposed, it just gets angrier, which makes this Pokemon's attacks and abilities stronger. Even when you attack him, he just gets angrier, which just makes his power even more ferocious. It'll just extend the duration of his rampages. Now, it is said that this Pokemon doesn't calm down until his target is destroyed and or everything in its path is burnt to the ground. Nothing will get in the way of this Pokemon's ferocious attacks. I know I said ferocious like a billion times now, but y'all get my point now. Even way back in ancient time, this Pokemon was an omen that your home will be completely demolished if you did spot it at any time. A tale is told of a town that angered Gyarados. Before the sun rose the next day, flames utterly consumed the town, leaving not a trace of anyone behind. And with his signature move, Hyper Beam, which is his go-to, which is enough to incinerate everything around it with its special attack power, as it was given the title the Deity of Destruction. No people or Pokemon are set aside by Gyarados to be spared if its anchor point is finally reached. It is not going to stop just because you ask him to. Whew, now with that said and done, that is it for the most deadly water type Pokemon. Like I said before, there were plenty to choose from as far as water type Pokemon, but I wanted to narrow it down to just 3 so I can emphasize just the deadly capacity of these Pokemon. Now the next ones I can do more than 3, I can do less than 3, but just to make things a little bit better, I try to do 3 as much as possible. Sometimes I may do 4, and the next one I think I'm gonna do 4. But if you guys did enjoy this video, then make sure to hit that like button and comment below. What do you think is the most powerful, the most deadly, not the most powerful, but the most deadly water type Pokemon? Leave in the comments below, begin the discussion, and also vote what type you want me to do next. Just say what type you want to do next, and the most upvoted one, I'll choose that one, or just pick it on my own. Either way works. Either way works. If you guys did enjoy this video and want to see more like this and many more types of content, then make sure to hit that subscribe button that's right on your screen, and the notification for whenever I upload or whenever I do stream, so it'll let you know. Well, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace, guys.